Hey, I'm Shay.
I'm John.
And I'm Nick.
Welcome to It's a Work Thing podcast, where we talk about everything and nothing, and we call it work.
So, a lot of times old people at weddings like to poke people and say, "You're next." I think I'm going to start doing that at funerals.
I mean,
Fair. I just like to see you track that, because I'd actually like to see the odds that you're right.
I'm always right.
If you can actually pick the order, though, man.
his nickname will be the Grim Reaper, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're going to start taking him to pony
sweet.
races, see if he can keep doing the same thing. What? If he could pick winners? I mean, come on.
I don't know if
I
that's
think these
winning,
are
though.
losers. Yeah.
I can look at a
All right, I
room
know
full
which
of
horse
over,
not to bet
yeah,
on.
I can look at a room full of over 80 people and be like, they don't all have that much time. But if he could pick the order, that's impressive.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
And on that note, welcome to It's a
on
Work
FanDuel?
Thing, the podcast you can tell your boss you're listening to because technically it's a work thing. So, our first recap is going to be our VR recap for Nick's birthday. Why do you have the Reese's sitting up like that?
Because
We're not sponsored.
We're hoping.
dude, I will do some
Hinge.
unholy things for some Reese's. I will sell my
Like
body.
a Reese's sponsorship or just
Yeah, I was
Reese's in
gonna
general?
say.
You left that fairly open.
Okay, the Reese's sponsorship.
Can we give you a bag of Reese's
Yeah.
and we could do the throwing thing again? Let's revisit that.
Oh, if I give you a bag of Reese's, can we put you in a little Velcro suit and throw you at a wall and see if you stick?
I mean, you have my attention.
It's not a no.
We might not have even needed the Reese's. He might have just been in. We might have undersold ourselves here. Shay.
How many times can you say you've been thrown?
Oh, God.
Anyways, I don't like the first subject of this.
Well,
No.
it was my biggest takeaway because
VR recap.
Everyone-
So for Nick's birthday,
Yeah.
we went and did VR. We did Deadwood Phobia first, and then did Deadwood Valley. We did back to back. What would you guys, just before we talk about our experience, would you recommend it?
yeah, it was fun.
I think so.
I thought Phobia was more fun.
I agree.
That's
That's because I think we set ourselves up for
if
failure.
if they ask you to do, what was it, dark mode or
It was Nightmare.
nightmare? If they ask you to do nightmare mode, just don't do it
Unless
You
you're
can't-
experienced.
No, even if you're experienced, and don't ever use the pistols.
That's
Pistols
what I was
are
going
so stupid.
What?
What? I kept just losing my pistol. I'd be holding my hands out like this, trying to shoot, and then all of a sudden I'd take my hands down, and this pistol's just hanging out up here, and it wouldn't shoot, wouldn't reload half the time. They suck.
I had pistols in the first game, and I will say I didn't like it for the purpose of my hands were getting tired sitting here holding them out like this and
Shut up, Nick.
trick. What?
I'm just talking. I'm just listening.
My fingers got tired doing the quick trigger.
Shut up, Nick.
I didn't say
I
anything.
know, but it's the look you're doing, man.
I'm just acknowledging Shay's pain.
What? And you guys in the first game got, what was it, a ray gun or something like that because it was Nick's birthday and you were
Yeah.
his partner.
Yeah, it was like a lightning gun thing.
It was awesome.
It was good.
Yeah. And then the second game, I got a shotgun, and I like that better, but I think I still like the assault rifle the best.
I went to both ends of the spectrum. I had the best guns, and then I had the worst guns, and I hated my life in the second one.
Well, the Nightmare, we should never have done that. That was a bad decision by your choice.
I wonder. Yeah. By my choice.
Mm-hmm.
They go. First of all, I do not like scary things. So
Yeah.
whenever we were doing these, they go, "Would you like to do nightmare mode?" And I immediately go, "No." And everyone goes, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Yes, we want to do nightmare mode. And then we all just kept dying.
Well, to
repeatedly.
be fair, they were like, it's scarier.
yes.
It's darker.
Yes.
And there's more zombies.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, sweet.
And they massacred us.
well,
They were stronger, too. That's the problem.
yeah.
Yes.
No one told us that.
Well, actually, he did.
Well, I
He
wasn't listening.
did tell us that.
Yeah, he did, in fact, tell us that.
So my biggest takeaway was that Nick was little.
Okay. So, yeah, let's get into that.
So
Go ahead, Griff. Recap it.
everyone is they have sensors on your arms, feet,
Mm-hmm.
and head. So you are somewhat close to actual height. And
I disagree.
4 out of the 5 are normal height, and they put these masks on us, and they're having you all get fitted, and they don't turn on the screen immediately. So you're just standing in this room, and we're all standing there, and then all of a sudden they turn it on, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, there's Shay, there's Ben, there's John.
Hey.
And then I was like, who the hell brought this kid in here? And I looked, and it's Nick. He starts talking, and I was like, holy cow, it is actually Nick. He does not. Like, he looks smaller. I don't know how it is possible, but he was smaller. I don't know how it did it.
They did. And okay, when you said I could not tell a difference between you, Ben,
Yeah, I couldn't
and
tell the
Nick or
difference
John.
between you guys.
No,
I
no
could not.
difference.
There's no difference. I could not tell. But Nick,
Yeah, and between me and Ben, there's like a
Immediately.
4 or 5 inch difference, and there was like nothing
no.
on that thing. And then Nick is like a 6 inch, 7 inch difference than Ben, and all of a sudden Nick's like a kid. I don't even understand it.
Yeah.
He was drastically shorter and more noticeable for sure.
Oh yeah.
They set me up.
They did you dirty, buddy.
Also, Shay murdered our last hostage.
He did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They go, we're down to our last hostage. Protect him.
I
Shay
take one
immediately turns.
shot.
Boom! Game over. Okay, well, that ended nightmare mode.
I had the shotgun. I went to try to shoot the zombie that was getting her, and accuracy was not my thing.
I knew
I
accuracy was not my thing with my pistol. I was at the end of it. I was really hoping that they'd get closer and they would let me beat them with the guns, because that would have been far more effective than shooting them.
Speaking of beating them with your guns, we can talk about the dog that attacked Nick in the game.
Yeah,
was
that is
massive.
that is on our social media channels if you'd like to go see it. But there is a zombie dog came running up at him and he kicked it.
We will release the footage of the VR. We're going to do it following this release of the podcast on the Monday. So you guys can watch the short little snippet that they send you of basically you playing and Nick screaming the most. Nick screamed the most for sure.
My favorite part, and I was talking to some other people that kind of heard about it, and they're like, my favorite part was when Nick goes, "Is that a bear?" And then there was when they cut the lights off, they're like, "We cut the lights." I'm like, "No," because they all got black.
That's true.
Yeah, that was fun. I do say doing 2 back to back was
Was best.
definitely fun. I think, like you said, doing 1, you would have wanted to do more, and then doing 3, we would have probably been like laying on the floor like zombies.
Yeah, 3 would have been too much. 1 would not have been enough. 2 is perfect.
Yeah,
I was quite tired by the time we got there.
Yes. You mean tired like before or after?
No, like by the time we got to the end of that whole thing,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
quite
Yes.
tired.
Yeah.
Like
No, the 2 was perfect amount.
Nick almost fell asleep in the car. That's how.
Yeah,
that's how, he
that's
was,
yeah.
true.
I was exhausted.
given his size during that thing, we're gonna say he got tuckered out.
I did get tuckered out.
He's all just tuckered out in the back seat.
Speaking of being tuckered out, how's your no caffeine coming, Nick?
Yeah. Wait. Let's frame this.
Yep,
Nick,
go ahead. Sorry.
So the caffeine intake, safe for a human adult, 400 milligrams a day. How much are you consuming in a normal day?
Not recently in normal.
I would say like 3 times that.
1,200 for those trying to do math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how has been going cold turkey without caffeine been?
Well, I broke the news to Shay on the car right here that I relapsed. It was yesterday. I couldn't take it, and I didn't do a full dose. I just took a hit of some caffeine. And it felt good.
How many milligrams?
I would say probably like 100, 150.
Oh,
Okay, he really did. I was expecting like
yeah.
300, 400.
Took a hit, 600.
Yeah. No, it was very, very small. Like if
For
I had a
him.
credit card, I could I was about to shift in a line. It felt like.
Well,
Given I won't even hardly exceed 100 in a day.
oof.
Speaking of VR, though,
What?
we missed on a subject. Shay tried some pre-workout.
Shay did try some pre-workout. How
Not a
was
lot.
No, well, you had watered it down pretty hard,
Yeah,
and I
it
didn't
was,
drink the and I didn't drink the
just
whole
tasted
thing.
good.
Yeah, it did. It really did taste really good. I mean, if
Hey.
you're trying to introduce drugs, that's the way to do it.
Next time, we watered this down.
Next time we're just putting your pre-workout into his coffee.
Yeah.
That would be. It's actually tea, so that would be.
Yeah, and you'd definitely be able to taste it.
Yeah,
It tastes good.
it did taste really good.
Maybe that's part of my problem.
No. that's the choice of supplements. Like there are things that taste good that don't have caffeine. They
But
make them.
I stopped taking the caffeine because I was like, okay, I can't sleep. Maybe this will help. Because Bree stopped drinking. So Bree was kind of having the same thing where she was having trouble sleeping and stuff like that. And she only has 1 cup of coffee, but apparently that cup of coffee, that caffeine intake screwed with her so much.
Really?
So Bree has stopped drinking coffee for a week, and holy cow, she is like a new person. Like she has so much energy. Like
Oh,
it's
good for her.
it's insane. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should stop doing crack and see how that helps me. And then it didn't help me, and I missed crack.
Does he know that he didn't say caffeine?
Yeah. No,
Okay,
he-
all right.
Well aware.
We'll censor this.
Well, here's
Oh
the
yeah,
thing.
because you said it.
How many days did you go without caffeine?
6.
How many years have you been overdosing on caffeine?
Do I have to answer that?
Yeah.
Can I plead the fifth?
Yeah.
No, because there's no crime being committed. So no.
Yeah, you're not under arrest, so you. Me actually, I'd had this discussion with my
I
students.
plead the fifth.
Yep. Fifth.
Fifth. I hope he didn't need that.
15 years would be his answer, by the way, because he told me up on the way.
Shut up! I'm not telling you anything.
So you were shocked that things didn't change after 6 days of not abusing a supplement that you've used for 15 years.
By the way, I actually looked up how long it takes for like caffeine to like completely, so you to like your body reset. It was like 10 days that you actually had to.
I'm so close. I'll try it again.
No, you won't.
No, you won't.
I looked at Griffin. I was like,
There's no way.
dude, I had that little hit, and I had an amazing workout. So
Nick is going to be sponsored by 3 different pre-workout brands and an AED machine. Clear.
all in one.
He's gonna have to have an AED machine with him at all times, and not just because he's a first responder.
That's what he's going to start using his pre-workout. It's just the AED machine.
Shock.
All right, come up to some old lady. Hey, in the morning, I need you to do this to me. It's kind of hard for me to do it since you're here. Can you just give me a?
No, I'm,
Will you
I'm
shave
waiting,
my chest just a little bit? I can't get that sticky.
I'm waiting for Nick to become White Goodman from Dodgeball. Remember all the crazy fitness stuff he did in that movie?
Oh,
He had he hooked a car battery up to his
Yeah.
nipples, and he had a piece of pizza, and whenever the pizza would touch his mouth, he would shock himself.
He put the pizza in his pants.
He did. I told you not to bother me during my personal reflection time.
oh my gosh,
Ben Stiller was shredded for that movie, though.
he really was.
I mean, jacked.
You talk about someone who was like secretly like
For a while,
him,
jacked.
and another one that I don't reflect on that I never paid attention to, is Happy Gilmore. Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler was shredded, very shredded.
I would not have.
That's the reason why he wore baggy clothes to start off. He wore like when he was younger, he wore baggy clothes because he was so shredded that it would take away from his like comedic effect.
That's why I do it.
Matt Rife took the opposite approach.
Yeah.
But no, I thought you were going to talk about the guy who played Commissioner Gordon in the Spider-Man movies, the first round of Spider-Man movies. That dude is jacked.
Is he?
Is he?
Hold on.
What's his name?
Commissioner Gordon, isn't that
was just-
Batman?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right. What is? No, he was the guy who ran the newspaper.
Oh.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
hold on.
In
You'll
Spider-Man?
recognize it.
In Spider-Man instead of Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Spider-Man. Hold on.
Oh, the guy with the mustache?
J.K. Simmons.
Oh yeah, him.
J.K.
Oh yeah,
Simmons.
I do know he is. He played Santa Claus in that red one, and he still is jacked.
Yeah, well, I saw him. Look at this dude.
Yeah, no, he's jacked. I know.
God dang.
Let's see, how old is he?
How much pre-workout does he take?
He is 70.
Jesus.
I saw that dude in a 2014 movie last night that I was watching, called Whiplash, and he's like a jazz band instructor or something. Dude just wears black t-shirts and just like whoop, like just massive guns. I was like, dang, this dude knew what he was doing. He like can't get his jacket off. Like he's just scene where he like walks in the room and takes his jacket off, and he's like,
See, that's what my
can't
problem.
pull it off. And
I want to break concrete when I walk.
I thought he was going to say that's why he didn't have a jacket because he can't get it off his arms. And I was
That
like,
too.
You need to stop buying children's sizes.
That too.
I was going to say the one jacket he does have is too small for him because he does have an adult small.
Hey, it's all right. You can donate to Jamie next year.
Does he want it?
Jamie is Griff's son, who is 5.
Feet tall.
Nope, I was ended at 5.
If he's 5 years old, if he was in the first grade class, he'd be the second tallest kid at his school.
Dude, so I shouldn't talk about this because it's embarrassing for me.
Here we go.
Oh, carry on.
I helped I went to the primary school on Thursday. One of those days last week.
Okay.
It's all blur. To help with their fire drill. Some tall kids in that primary school. I was legit angry. I was like,
Nick came in there and he's like, I'm going to hoop on these kids. And then he gets there and he's like, I don't know if I want to play.
I was like, who are the foreign exchange students? Like, where are you from?
We deport the big kids.
I need to have you come during a middle school day just to guest talk as a fireman, just to
I'll
come
do
in,
it.
and you won't like it. You will not like it.
Get eye level with me.
They just sit back down in their
I
desk.
Anyways.
Anyways, we'll move on to our next segment, which is our movie review that we each assigned ourselves, or not assigned ourselves, but we assigned to other people. Did you actually watch your movie?
I did.
Okay, so
Why are you staring at me?
Shay knows why.
Go ahead, Nick, before we get into it.
I did not watch what I got because someone would never tell me
I
the episodes.
did.
I asked you
I
multiple
said
times.
1, 2, and 5 and sent you a link to it.
You did not. I never got anything.
There was a click-through link to it.
Shay is my
There
power
was
of
a
attorney.
click-through link to it.
This was on Monday, was it not, when you sent it?
That
remember.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I just told you my week was a blur.
Yeah, all of my days blend together. I couldn't tell you which of those days particularly.
So, Griff, what was your movie you had to watch? You will just. Go
I
ahead
had
and
to
start
watch
with
The
you.
Prestige.
And what did you think of it?
I very much enjoyed it. I was honestly kind of surprised I had not heard of it before.
I told you it's really good.
It was very good. It had very good twists. The acting was very good. The plot line was good. Usually in that era, I kind of like stay away from like PG-13 movies because they're usually like 70% of the way to a good movie, and then they just back it off so they can get that PG rating.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, there was nothing that I felt like it needed. That would have taken it. Like they didn't need like an edge to it. They provided the edge without needing the R rating necessarily.
It was really good.
It was very good. I would recommend Nick if you get a chance to watch it because it was good.
What would you give it out of 5?
Four and a half.
Can you at least tell Nick what it's about?
It is about Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman are two competing magicians in the late 1800s in London, and they basically like keep sabotaging each other.
Yeah, and they try to outdo each other.
And they try and outdo each other to become the best, and it's back and forth and back and forth.
I like Christian Bale.
It has some
I'm
good
telling
twists.
you, it's really good.
It's kind of like Shutter Island. Have you seen Shutter Island?
Nope.
It's like Shutter Island in like the psychological twists.
Can I ask you? Are you actually going to watch this movie? Yes or no? You can be honest. Are you going to no?
Unless I have to, I'll probably forget by the time we get home.
We're going to spoil it.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert!
If you
Spoiler.
don't want to have the Prestige ruined for you, skip.
Now, like skip.
For-
We will say, when we will. You'll see us wave our hands. We will wave our hands like crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever we wave our hands like crazy, come back in.
All right. So go ahead and like the twist at the end is really good.
Yeah.
I
So
love a good twist.
it starts out they're like partners working together in this magic show, and Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman are these two guys who are randomly pulled up from the audience, but they're not. They're in on the show on this magician's act. And Hugh Jackman's wife is a lady that gets her hands like tied up and she goes into a water tank. Well, Christian Bale one of the times like ties a different knot, and whenever he ties a different knot, she can't get out and she drowns in the thing.
Jesus.
And so then Hugh Jackman and him like keep going back and forth, and like Hugh Jackman shoots him. And like if somebody hadn't knocked his hand at the last second, he would have probably killed him. Mm-hmm. And then like Christian Bale comes up and sabotages his show, like messes with one of the tricks so that it breaks this random audience lady's fingers and gets his show canceled. And
Good Lord.
Christian Bale's character does this the disappearing man.
Yeah. Disappearing Man.
Where like he walks through like a door and then reappears on the other side. And Hugh Jackman like can't figure it out. How did he do it? And like goes as far as to go all the way to Colorado Springs to find Nikola Tesla, and like uses this big electric machine essentially that cat.
He wants in.
that like teleports him essentially, so he can do this illusion. But it doesn't teleport him; it creates another copy of him.
Jesus.
So,
And
well,
you don't know that until
yeah, and you don't know that. And actually, the part that I forgot is at the very beginning, you see Hugh Jackman doing this disappearing man, where like he walks through a door, but like really falls through a trap door, and he falls through a trap door into a water tank that is then latched and locked, and he's like thrashing around and drowning in there, and it just shows Christian Bale standing outside of it, staring at him, like like it looks like Christian Bale moved this water tank underneath his stand and then locked him in and killed him.
But that's what Hugh Jackman does is he kills his copy, so there's still only one of them.
So it clones him every time.
yeah.
And so,
Jesus.
yeah, and so he kills his copy,
Yeah.
but he sets up Christian Bale's character so that Christian Bale's character goes to watch this show, sees him, all these witnesses see him standing in front of there, and this guy, and Hugh Jackman acts like he made his own death, essentially, and that guy goes to trial and gets hung.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Lord.
And then you find out that the way that, because he's like, I can't figure out, he's got to use a double, but like Hugh Jackman couldn't figure it out. The entire time, Christian Bale had a twin brother,
that nobody knew about.
but they lived the same life. Like they would literally be like
Trade the same wife.
same wife, everything.
Lord.
Yeah.
Like
Not a bad idea.
there were two people, there were two guys living one life. Like nobody knew there were two of them in public.
So it was quite the twist at the end too.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of twists that like, oh,
And then you
gosh,
find
oh,
out that
gosh.
Hugh Jackman killed like 18 of these clones and kept them in tanks.
Yeah.
That was dark.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Because every day he comes and gets this tank and takes it here, and then it shows the light at the end. It's just like a hallway full of
Dead bodies.
dead bodies in these things.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good. I knew Griff would like it.
If you've seen Shutter Island, it was a lot like Shutter Island. I
And we're back in. No spoiler now. Okay. So Nick gave me the Gabby Petito. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, see, I think.
Um,
thought we probably heard her name a lot in the movie.
I
Yeah,
don't
fair.
remember. I kind of forgot.
Can I have one of those Reese's?
Yeah.
Well, they said Gabby a lot. They didn't say her last name.
Yeah.
So that was
Tried to open it, couldn't.
that was the girl who went missing, and it was like the whole sketchy where her and her fiance were they. I can't remember if they were married or if it was just fiance.
Beyonce.
Yeah, fiance. They were traveling in a van and they were in Colorado. He comes back. She's missing. Who done it? Like, that's a tough mystery to figure out. Obviously, it was the fiance. It was good. It was interesting. For a documentary, it was fine.
Hey, it wasn't 9/11.
It was not a 9/11, so I was okay with it. Me and Hillary both watched it.
There you go.
It was so. Just if you haven't seen it, I wonder from the parents' point of view, of the fiance's point of view, Brian's parents, like when he came back, they immediately lawyered up.
That's what's so suspicious about it.
Would
It's
not let him talk to the officials. Like, my question would be, would you do that cover up for, like, Jamie if he comes and says, I killed her?
He's got a lot of land, so to hide something.
Well, I don't know much about the situation, so it depends on the context. If it was like an accident or it was like he did it on purpose, I don't know what this was. Was it like an accident? They think it was like an accident, and then he like
They don't know.
covered it up.
They don't know. I don't think that it was from the autopsy of her. Like, he strangled her.
Yeah, it was
I
like
mean, I recommend
strangulation, and then like
There's some. Like,
it looked like it
physical-
was like staged.
Strangulation, I don't say would be an accident, typically, unless she's into that kind of thing.
Some girls are.
But it was.
I wasn't sure where Jay was going to take that for a second.
Do you know what we mean?
It's the Aaron Hernandez method.
I'll send you a video.
Oh, make sure it's just him. I don't want it.
She's like, anyways.
Anyways, he ended up. I guess I stopped following the story of it when it happened in real life. I didn't realize he also committed suicide.
Well, that's the thing that a lot of people are like conspiracy on, because technically they only found, I think it was his teeth Or, like,
Oh, really?
They only found like some of his teeth.
Oh.
So that's what they were like. Oh, like here we found some of his remains or something like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think that because of his family was so involved that he just kind of like threw some of his teeth down there basically, and then he went off to Mexico. That's what a lot of people were saying.
Interesting. To recap, by the way, Griff said he sent Nick the episodes. All you sent was the season in our chat.
You said, "Can you send me the show I'm supposed to watch?" I sent him the show.
And it does not say what episodes he's supposed to watch.
Just watched them all.
But,
Should've watched
however, in Griff's defense, though, there was never a follow-up question of which episode should I watch. So,
That's fair.
I'm going to be honest. I split the blame on both of you.
I can accept that.
I'm adding an episode that he has to watch now still. All right, Nick, I'm telling you right now so that you can remind yourself again whenever you go through the thing.
Hold on. I gotta write this down.
You're going to have to edit this podcast. You'll just hear it again.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
Okay?
Well, especially because if I do it today. Okay.
Jeez Louise.
Episode. How do you spell episode?
I'm sorry for everyone that these two can't follow up.
We have very good communication skills. That's why we're
If
here.
you fall in this far, it's not a shocker.
I very
Okay.
much have to push us along sometimes with conversation because both of them,
He's dead.
yeah, we do that a lot.
We're busy men about town. Nick because of accidents.
Yeah,
He's only about town because of other people's accidents.
that's true.
They
Yeah,
don't
you were
call 911
watching
for a good
episode
day.
1, Money Laundering, a how-to guide.
Okay.
Actually, I think he's going to love that.
You were watching episode 2, Are Rich People Dicks or Do Dicks Get Rich?
I think he's going to like that one too.
Yep. Episode 5, Counterfeiting Kills Economies.
Jesus.
And number 7, Is Money Bullshit?
How many episodes are you giving me?
Well, because you got an extra one because...
Yeah.
And so, not next episode, but the following episode because we're going to record another one just right after this, so Nick won't have time to do that. So just
Nick,
spoiler alert
you
for
watch it
everybody.
by the time we get to episode 60. He's watching them on like 60x speed. No caffeine, 60x speed. He's not processing anything. He didn't even know what's going on.
So we'll give you a recap on that. We'll have him do that. Moving on, though,
right, got
Griff,
it.
you have a story you want to share with us?
So I was out fixing some wall, like putting some boards up on a wall in our barn, and we have the fat animals that are going to be sold shortly here, and one of them was humping another one, but every time he would hump, he would have like a stream of diarrhea shoot out of his butt. So every time he thrust forward, he'd go whoop, whoop, whoop out of his butt. And I just thought, imagine that scenario. That's a good way to end your first Tinder date.
I have comments, but I'll keep them to myself.
Oh, I want to hear him, Nick. Let's go. Come on, Nick.
He's actually getting red.
Come on, Nick. Let's hear it.
I'm not red, I'm sunburnt.
Yeah, he went out in the sun for the first time
Yeah.
yesterday.
That's why I don't go out. I got nothing.
I'm surprised you didn't record that.
I was laughing too hard.
That would be quite the
Worst part is
sight.
He was pooping directly into their own feed bucket.
Oh!
That's normally how it goes.
No, dead
Farm
serious,
animals,
is normally
yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah, I know farm animals, but I feel like he doesn't talk about farm animals.
I routinely watch cows in the pond behind my house that will stand there, drink water, and poop at the same time.
Dude, there's pictures of me while I was on the farm, like feeding cows and stuff like that.
Where I thought he was going with that for a second. Pictures of me on the farm pooping in the pond.
Yeah, well,
Oh my gosh.
bathroom's too far.
All right. So I have a new segment that I would like to try out called It's Time for HR Violation of the Week, the part of the show that probably needs a formal write-up or at least a strongly worded email, usually going to dictate in our text thread, I would say would be a HR violation. And
Nick is very familiar with these.
I love home
Get
runs.
me one too.
so My HR violation of the week would come from Nicholas.
Shocker. How did I know?
This one's actually pretty tame for you. We,
Our text string is wild, by the way, if everyone just looked at it.
this one's very tame, but I still think it would be a violation. It is Nick reporting, or Griff says, me reporting Nick to PETA. Nick replies, who is PETA and is she hot?
I still don't know.
There are two PETAs that I know of. PETA, people for the ethical treatment of animals.
Yeah.
And PETA, the boy from the Hunger Games.
That's all I know is PETA.
I cannot think of another single one. And Nick goes, is she hot?
I don't know.
So that would be my HR violation of the week, would be Nick with PETA.
That's funny.
Do you think Nick really knew what PETA is?
I still don't know what PETA is.
I just said it.
He just
I
said
literally
it.
just said it.
I know, but I didn't comprehend it.
It's animal rights activists, essentially.
Oh, okay. Now I remember. What was that?
What are you talking about?
That's an HR violation right there.
No.
That was an invasion of Shay's privacy.
It was the
Okay.
picture. I screenshotted the picture of our,
Oh.
so I made sure I had it. So when we do that in the future, if you have an HR violation that you think we have committed in our group chat, you can.
Yeah, and we'd also like to hear listeners. We'd
Can
like
I-
to hear if you have any.
Yes. If
You
listeners, you have an HR violation that you think should be.
You can anonymously report coworkers here, and we
Yes.
will talk about it.
Absolutely.
Can I do that? I have real life scenarios because I'm
Nick?
a manager.
Nick,
I
you do
highly
not
advise
have to
it.
anonymously do it.
You can.
You moron, you're here.
Nope. I'll read it for him. You just write it to me.
I'll
read
say
for
it,
you.
and then we'll
Yeah.
AI our voice to be someone different.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Nobody will know.
Submitted by Itty Bitty 1000. It's Nick.
Submitted by
Sexy fireman.
Naughty Fireman.
Naughty fireman. Naughty fireman.
Get it right.
Don't insult me like
Yeah.
that.
Sexy Fireman's my rival.
That's what we should put as a hashtag on the bottom of our future podcast studio set. Nick should be hashtag sexy firefighter.
Naughty Firefighter.
Naughty fighter.
That's his rival.
Yeah.
We can't be giving
How do
him
you spell
business.
naughty? Maybe you should not promote it if you cannot spell it.
No. You gave him an opportunity. Let's go.
He's looking for the word on the paper.
No, I have to write it. Where's the pen?
Don't grab the Sharpie. Get that away from him.
Who put it back on the table?
I was probably using it for cutting our boards, and I think I put it there.
I was gonna say I know I put.
You put an M, didn't you?
No. NAUGHTY.
Okay.
Whoa! I thought for sure there was gonna be D's in there.
Dodge that one.
NODDY, naughty.
I could see where you thought that was an M.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how anyone would think that is an M. Did you put a cursive N?
I
He
hope-
did because he was going to sign his name.
No way.
That's how he knows how to write an N. Isn't
Again,
it?
I plead the fifth.
It was a habit because whenever he went to go write an N, he immediately thought cursive because that's how you sign your name.
But anyways, my HR
is that right, though?
Yeah. My HR violation is I had a guy that no longer works here at my company who decided to just randomly start bringing his dog into the office back when we were
seriously?
still like in-house. He worked in the other branch, so like there's only like 12 people there. Well, he just decided one day to start bringing his dog, and then he thought he could hide his dog under his desk.
Oh, he tried to keep it a secret?
It did not work well. So then,
How big a dog?
German Shepherd.
Yeah, Great Dane.
He dressed it up in clothes and had it walk
It
in.
was
This is
one
my
of those.
son.
It was one of those like little ankle biter ones.
Like a Yorkie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
First of all, red flag that a guy has that to start with.
He
Well-
didn't know. He doesn't know if it's a Yorkie or not.
that guy's a red flag.
This was beautiful.
Well, so this is like my first week of being manager. So like I'm sitting there, and I'm like
Okay.
learning how to do stuff. And they're like, hey, this guy's bringing his dog in the office. You need to reprimand him. And I'm like, what the hell do I say? Like, dude, you can't bring your dog. Like that was I was like, are you bringing your dog in? He's like, what? I'm like, are you bringing your dog in?
Props to him that he did. What? But he was also surprised to hear that This is the first time he heard that there was a dog potentially in the office.
Yeah.
There's a dog in here?
Somebody brought a dog. I'm allergic.
Yeah.
That would
Well,
have been
then-
the double
That'd
down.
been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well then like there were some other things of like it barking and like pooping and just it was and it was like then it turned into like it was my emotional support animal and I was like, you're okay. Like
You gotta have paperwork for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
He did not. So yeah. So that was like interesting.
Well, we were at the zoo, and Claire was about a half an inch away from pulling the tail on an emotional support animal.
Oh, shoot. When'd you go to the zoo?
Tuesday.
Oh, we just went last night.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to go the week before for the lights. The
That's what we
lights,
did.
Well, they looked really cool.
They are really nice.
Yeah, we saw it last year, but I think we're gonna still try and go again this year.
I highly recommend it. I did not know what to expect. I'm like, oh, I'm sure it's like the few lights put up and then you go see the animals. No, it
it's
was
really
actually
cool.
legit. Like,
It's way better if you have to choose between that and the Christmas lights. 100% go to this.
real. I was wondering
the
if the
Christmas
Christmas
lights
lights.
they're fine. This is awesome.
No, it's legit. I
I
thought it
don't
would
get
be
like what's so cool about it.
So they have like a Japanese garden and
Mm-hmm.
like a Japanese dragon, like a dragon that loops under the road and comes back around and it's all lit up.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
It's, and I'd say almost half the zoo is lit up too. It's not,
Yeah.
like it's not just part of it. It's a lot of it.
It goes up like the lizard and bird hill, reptile hill, and chimpanzee hill. There, it goes halfway up there, and it goes pretty well around that whole rest of the zoo.
We
Other
were-
than the
We rode the train and it was like almost all of it had some kind of
Yeah.
light up. It was neat.
I will say that is the one thing I do like about our zoo is one, it's free, and then two, it is big and like our zoo's pretty cool, I feel.
it's very nice.
I will say though, if you have little kids, Grant's Farm's better.
Yeah.
Over like petting, they get to interact.
Yeah.
So there used to be a petting zoo part of it.
Yeah, what happened to that? I
part
remember
had-
that.
Well, that's because they shut it all down, and that's where they had those dinosaur things.
Yes.
But there used to be like goats and sheep and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff you could pet. And then they had that the otters used to be. I remember whenever I was a kid, the otters used to be in that enclosure, and they had slides that kids could go down.
Yes.
and they were like fully see-through plexiglass, and the otters would swim around you as you're going down the slide.
That's pretty cool.
So
Also, is Grant's Farm the one in Springfield? Because there's one in Springfield that's not that bad either for like little kids.
Grant's Farm is in St. Louis.
10 miles south of the downtown St. Louis center.
Gotcha.
It was Ulysses S. Grant's farm.
And it's where they keep the Clydesdale, like the Budweiser Clydesdales there.
Oh.
It's where Bush family lives.
Yeah.
And they have literally it's almost a mini, I consider it a mini zoo. Mm-hmm.
I haven't been. I know the history of it. I don't know.
I highly recommend it. And then during Christmas time, the lights there were really neat too. So
Well, they do have a little zoo in Springfield. It's nothing crazy, but it is nice. Like for little kids, like it's not bad. So
I remember going there as a kid.
yeah,
It's been on our list, but I think they were. Whenever I was up in Springfield the last time, they were under. It was like under renovation or something.
gotcha.
Nick, you have a short game for us?
Oh yes.
Do we need boards or we just
Hold on. Close your ears for a second.
very good.
Thank you.
Hold on.
I was just getting ready for Nick's game. I was just
That's fair.
trying to get in the right headspace.
That's probably the right idea to do, honestly. But
Okay.
all right.
I had to remember what I wrote down. I didn't know if it was gonna play. So, okay. So you do not need boards.
Oh, good.
For this one. Not yet. So you're offered $500 million.
500 million.
The only catch is that if someone says a word
Oh, I heard this.
next to you, you'll blow up and die. What word would you pick?
And would you do it?
Yeah, and would you do it? So, like, let's say my word was Reese's. If someone said Reese's next to me, I would die.
Poor choice.
I know. I would not. I would not say Reese's, but I'm just giving an example.
Would 100% do it? Would 100% choose onomatopoeia? Because anyone that would start it, it's a long enough word, I'd have an opportunity to throat punch them before they could finish it.
Automatopoeia.
But what if they're on the other side of the room? Like
Well,
Nick's
first
over
of all,
there,
if
and
I
you
have
hear,
$500 million, I'm not going to see anybody that I don't want to see.
Fair.
So the people that
You got
I see are
kids.
going to know that that's what it's going to be.
I think I would learn how to pronounce like not the longest word in the dictionary,
yeah.
but one of the like the second longest word in the dictionary. Learn that, then you can say that's your word because you're not going to say because if you say the longest one, because somebody like, well, you know what the longest word in the world is, and they
No.
can say that.
I'm choosing the longest word in Russian. Screw that.
That's
he
true.
didn't say it had to be in English. I'm choosing the longest
Yeah,
word in
but-
Russian. What are the odds that I'm going to hear a Russian word?
But if we're playing by the rules, if the word is said, does it matter what language?
Fair.
Should.
Vic Dish.
I say no, it doesn't. I think as long as the word is said, it does not matter.
All right, onomatopoeia in Russian.
Vic
Still.
Dish.
I
It's
don't
FU in
know
Russian.
the second longest word or something.
See, I can't use the supercalifragilistic.
Yeah, because people will say it.
Well, yeah, we change people's passwords to that sometimes at Carmack as jokes. We really do. It makes people so mad.
This is the longest word in the Oxford Dictionary. It is 45 letters long.
That's what I'm looking
Lord,
for.
I don't
No
know that
one
many.
is giving me an opportunity. There's no phonetic spelling of it.
I don't even know how to say 45 letters.
Okay. Pneumo, ultra, microscopic, silico, volcano, coniosis. I am choosing that word.
Yeah, that's what I told you. I
My
want that.
kids will never accidentally kill me because there's no way they're putting all of those together.
That's what I'm getting. at.
Correctly.
I like whoever threw this in there because it sounds like some kind of
Isn't it the
disease or something, right?
It is. It's a phobia of long words, I think.
So I just love the person who was just having a good time with this and just threw volcano into the middle of this
I know, I was
word.
about to say the volcano I was not expecting. That was a little twist.
All right. And we're going to go to our last segment of the day, which is History 101 with John and Shay, where we teach Nick a history lesson that he probably should have learned in school.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
just learned in general.
Okay, I was gonna say mine's not.
Maybe not learned in school, but learned in general.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
Go
in
ahead.
school. So my first history lesson is, when the president runs for president, it's a VP and a president running for that. That was not always the case.
Really?
Correct. It used to be whoever came in first was president, and whoever came in second became vice president.
Oh, that would suck.
And there was even a period before that, or a period after that too, where vice president was then elected in the legislature. There were two elections where it was an elected position and the legislator not chosen by them, by the candidates.
That would suck.
And that changed after Amendment 12. They finally were like, you know what? Maybe this isn't a great choice. Maybe we should let the guy who's in charge pick his...
No, this is a terrible choice because I would absolutely love
To see Donald
to
Trump and
see-
Hillary Clinton.
No, Donald Trump and Hillary, yeah, but Donald Trump and Biden in a White House together, and the things that Trump would probably like walk him up in front of a microphone and just let him embarrass himself and sit in the corner and laugh at him like publicly. Good lord.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Yeah.
No wonder a lot of stuff didn't probably get done then.
Well, a lot of stuff didn't get done because everybody was in the true sense of it not a full-time legislator, so they would be there for like 4 months. 3 months, and then they would go home.
It's a summer job.
And there was no like,
No,
I
that's
can call
seriously.
you up
It was
on
a
the-
part-time
yeah.
job. It wasn't the job, which was actually the way it should be.
But if
We
you
won't
did it
get
that
into
way,
that.
only the rich people could do it.
Yeah. Well, we won't need to get in that. Or teachers. If you did in the off-season.
Yeah, but summers they're always off because that's why I said drain the swamp because it's so hot in the summer.
Griff, your history lesson for Nick?
So, have we talked about Rube Waddell?
We have not.
The guy who made rubies?
Rube Waddell was an American baseball player. He was born in 1876, died in 1914. He was known
He's
for
55.
his eccentric habits and his sheer number of teams that he played for. He played during the same time. He was a pitcher at the same time as Cy Young. Some of the things that he would do, he played with the Louisville Colonels, the Pittsburgh Pirates, Chicago Orphans. So, some of these teams are quite old.
You still got orphans.
bring
Philadelphia
them back.
Athletics, St. Louis Browns. And he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1946. He was 193 and 143, and he had 2,316 strikeouts throughout his various years of playing. He also was a two-time Triple Crown. They called it a Triple Crown back then for pitchers, where he would have like strikeouts,
Wins and
ERAs,
ERA.
and wins. Yeah, yeah. So he literally pitched at the exact same time as Cy Young, and did not have the didn't get the notoriety because Cy Young was very consistent. This guy was insane.
Okay.
He multiple times he was so at that time they weren't getting paid full time
Yeah.
to be baseball players, right?
Yeah.
So they played the whole baseball season. They got to the off season in the winter. They came back for spring training and they go, "Has anyone seen Rube?" No one can find Rube. They get through all the way through spring training. Like, wow, he didn't show up for the first game of the season either. They go down to the south and find him in an alligator wrestling show in Louisiana. So you have your all-star pitcher wrestling crocodiles and alligators.
Nick has a new favorite player.
Yeah.
For real.
And so then he became the highest paid player in baseball because they paid him to not go back and wrestle alligators and crocodiles in the offseason.
Good Lord.
One time,
I have respect for this guy. He's got chops.
he pitched an entire doubleheader, pitched the entirety of both games because the team owner told him that if he did, he would send him away for 2 days for a all expenses paid fishing trip. So he just pitched an entire doubleheader. He was
Lord.
known for being at bars before the games and walking in as the game was starting through the bleachers while he would strip down to nothing and change into his uniform walking down the bleachers and to get in. There were multiple instances where he
I
would
do like this player.
go out to go pitch. He would, at the beginning of the inning, go out. All of his fielders would go out, and then he would say, "No, all the fielders go back inside. I got this." And then he would just strike out 3 straight batters.
Who is this?
Rube Waddell.
Rube Waddell. Because Sassel Page did the same thing.
Yeah,
In
but he
the
would do
Negro
that
League.
multiple times. He would
Yeah.
just send in his entire field and then strike 3 batters out in a row.
Interesting.
He also was not incredibly smart.
Really?
So he learned to throw a baseball by throwing rocks at birds.
It's not a bad way.
So he also had problems with if a fire brigade would go by, he was known for keeping a red shirt underneath, which was the shirt sign for a fire team. And if he heard a fire brigade go by, he would just leave. He would drop his glove in the middle of the game, undress as he walked through the stands.
This is Nick's favorite player.
And go fight a fire. No matter what
I love
city
this
he was
guy.
in. It did not matter what city he was in. It
need
did
to
not
get his
matter
jersey.
if he knew where he was going.
Can you buy his jersey?
For real.
We could try.
We need to. We should have got that for Nick's
We should
birthday.
get Chicago Orphans Rube Waddell jersey. That would be... Nick just has a big jersey that says
Orphans.
Orphans Waddell.
I'll wear it everywhere.
Also, they found him at another point wrestling bears in a traveling show. And opposing fans would bring shiny objects and puppies to distract him while he pitched. And it would work. They would literally sit behind home plate and hold up a puppy.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
It's a shirt you can get.
Yes. Let me see.
It's
I have to
him
remember.
wrestling an alligator, and is it a bear or a lion on his
Oh,
back?
there's a lion behind him. He's holding an alligator, and then it looks like a dog, and he's in a baseball outfit.
Yep.
That's funny.
So his final year he played. He had 20 wins with the Minneapolis Millers and the Virginia Ore Diggers. His health had started to decline by the end of that year. While in spring training with the Minneapolis Millers, Waddell helped to save people in the city of Hickman, Kentucky, when a devastating flood came through in the spring of 1912.
Good Lord.
He caught pneumonia from that and died.
How old was he?
He was 37.
Oh my!
It said he's
lived a full life.
It said he's the first pitcher to ever strike out a side with 9 pitches too.
Yep.
Wow.
He was an incredibly interesting individual.
That is interesting.
It is. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Rick. That was
No
good.
I like that history
I
lesson.
enjoyed that. Yeah.
Way better than Chase.
It is. I mean, it was more interesting. That's for sure.
No, but I didn't know that either. That was crazy. It's just ridiculous.
Anything else you guys want to add for today's episode?
My truck died again on me last night, so I was just driving home, coming to a stop sign. All of a sudden, I lost all control of my truck, and my power steering went out, and it slowly started to die. So maybe a time for a new truck coming sooner than I was hoping, but stay tuned for that.
All right then. And that's a wrap on today's episode of It's a Work Thing. If anyone asks what you're listening to, just tell them it's a work thing.
I did it.
What?
Why is
You have
everyone
something?
looking at me? No.
You have something?
No, we're good. We're good. Cheerio.
No. You have something.
No.
God.
Nick was staring at me.
Oh my God. Make sure you follow us on TikToks, It's a Work Thing podcast,
Oh, son of a!
or anywhere you can listen to our podcast.
That's why he was staring at me.
Good
You could have looked down.
gravy.
You could have given me a hint instead of just staring at me. He stared at me with lost eyes. I didn't know what was going on. I thought he was having a stroke.
If you have a weird story, a coworker deserves a passive aggressive email, send it in. We might not. When I say we might, we will read it and we will judge it.
New episodes drop every Thursday. So hit follow, tell a friend, maybe no, don't tell HR. Don't tell HR. Don't do that.
Tell HR I said hi.
Anyways,
Yeah, Nick's got a file at your workplace.
Which HR is not home run, just so you guys know. Can be, though.
anyways, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Until then, stay productive, or at least look like it. Cheerio.
Cheerio.